We're not employees.
No, we're not.
No, we're independent contractors.
Yes.
So we can drink on here.
Yes.
Which is great. You know how I know we don't work for Yahoo? Because we don't even have badges, and it's been 20 weeks. We have to beg someone to let us into this building.
Yeah.
I sleep in the parking lot.
But they're really easy. They were really excited to let us out.
Yeah.
Notice that after the show, they like.
Go ahead.
They like open the door and they hand me a validation when I'm walking out.
As fast as you can get the get out.
Did you enjoy the Pro Bowl as much as I did, Andrew Santino?
You know, I didn't have an opportunity to watch the Pro Bowl. I was just busy living my life, having a good time. Did you watch it?
Yeah, because I wanted to.
No, I think it's because you lost last week, Sarah Tiana. Let's check you out watching the Pro Bowl.
So I'm at the gym because this is the time that I have. But I want you to know that I'm watching the Pro Bowl at the gym. One of these things I need to do. Definitely the gym.
Let's just see. By the way, I saw on there that you weren't really running. Were you faking it? Because it said select workout. I saw the machine said select workout. Looks to me like...
It was right before I started.
Did you spritz yourself? Oh, I just worked out.
I wasn't going to just, like,
how far did you run?
While that would be dangerous.
We live dangerous, dude.
I do 45 minutes on the treadmill, but I just walk at an elevation. I don't run.
That's still good.
You can't run when you got 2 giant knapsacks on your chest.
Are you talking about your boobs?
Yeah, they're
because I wear 2 knapsacks on my chest when I work out, just for the weight.
Yeah, I basically run. If I were to run, I'd have a weighted vest on.
That is, you're running wind sprints with weighted vest and a tire pulling you behind.
That's my ass.
Well, I appreciate you going through that bet. And next week's bet, or this week's bet for that matter, I think we're going to have to align ourselves with the Super Bowl celebration, and the loser gets a Gatorade dump.
A Gatorade shower. Or a Gatorade
I call it
bath.
a dump.
Okay. I'm sure
Gatorade dump.
Listen, we don't want to be called your wife's nickname, okay?
I don't call her a Gatorade dump. I call her Lady! Hey, Lady!
Oh.
All right. Gatorade bath.
I know you don't cheat on your wife, but we're cheating on Gothard this week.
I know we are.
Because...
You're bad.
Yeah, we asked him to go to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, we did. We told him to get out of here. He needed it. He deserved it, you know?
He deserved it.
He deserved it. They make him sleep here, and we said, you need to get on out, get some sunshine, go down to Atlanta, have a good time. So instead, we have a guest Gothard.
Yeah, guest Gothard.
A scoreboardist.
Yes, another slick hair backer.
Another slicky, Matt Harmon. Hey!
Yeah. Yay!
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Thank you so much for welcoming me to your very dark home in here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nothing like a mean nerd. I'm ready to get going. Let's do this.
The first prop. Super Bowl Sunday is a long day of nonsense and pregame shows, killing hours and hours of time waiting for the 6:30 kickoff. And the worst part of that wait is obviously having nothing interesting to gamble on, which makes the national anthem so important. It's the kickoff of the gambling Super Bowl. The prop, over or under 107.5 seconds for Gladys Knight's national anthem.
It's gonna be under.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let me tell you something. Without the pips, it's gonna be over quicker than Sarah's career, ladies and gentlemen. She's gonna get out there, and she's got to get it done fast because she got a midnight train to Georgia to catch. Who else is going to get home to shine all 7 of her Grammys? She's incredible. The average, by the way, is 117 seconds. I don't know if you know that. That's almost a 2-minute drill, which is exactly what I call Friday nights at home with my wife. Bam! Self-deprecating.
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, no, I know. Her longtime and now deceased friend Aretha Franklin did a tight 5 minutes. And out of R-E-S-P-E-C-T, she's going to keep it nice and short, shorter than all of the men that Sarah has dated collectively.
Listen, speaking of short, I'm glad that you wrapped it up quickly.
I love talking short.
And let me just say, Andrew knows a lot about shortness, but that's another story.
I already went there.
The shortest anthem ever was Pink. That's because she's 5'4", and that's literally the only reason that she was considered short. Most anthems, like you said, are almost 2 minutes long. And now that Gladys Knight is without the pips, she for sure is gonna try to impress us with her new solo career. You know, it's pretty new that she's been without them. So I'm gonna take the over because I'm over everything about the anthem right now when it comes to the NFL. And betting on the anthem is like betting on the number of times Baker Mayfield will yell at like a sports reporter. So you have to take the over every time.
You gotta take the under. And by the way, she's been without the pips since 1986. So,
Wrong. I saw them together last night.
No, where were you last night?
That's none of your business.
We had to go. Whoa! Are we dead now?
I think so.
Well, Mr. Harmon, what kind of harmony are you What kind of harmony was that? Was that in tune? Was that you that did that?
I was actually almost going to give you the points, but the fact you made the harmony joke, which, by the way, I've never heard before. That's very original.
Okay.
I'm going to give this one to Sarah.
Okay.
I'm going to give her 4 points.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take any points that you have to offer, Matt.
Prop number 2. After the anthem and the coin flip and the first commercial, we can actually get into the real gambling of the game. And the most fun bet with the best odds to get an early win going is the first player to score a touchdown, the prop. Who are you taking as the first player to score a TD?
Okay, well, I'm going to take the Rams D because you can never go wrong with a good D. That's why Andrew was single until he was famous. Listen, Tom Brady threw 18 interceptions this year. That's more than 1 per game. And so I think for sure Aaron Donald is going to get after his ass because that's what Donald be doing, all right? Also, Brady has a limp arm. That ain't the only thing. But I would just say, because the Rams defense was really high scoring, I had them in fantasy this year. I mean, they were decently high scoring. And I just feel like when it comes to offenses, like both of them are completely underwhelming. So I took the Rams defense because it was the only thing fun to take.
Well, in sports, we love a Cinderella story. And that's exactly what C.J. Anderson's name stands for. Cinderella Javon Anderson was the ugly sister who finally got a makeover and transitioned into the belle of the ball, and he will undoubtedly score the first touchdown of the game. Goff's going to have the jitters. That's when you poop right before the game. I know you know all about that because I see you before we roll.
Yeah, before.
And he's going to keep the ball on the ground to go back to his bread and butter. Gurley is the bread because he's thick, and CJ is the butter because he's smooth, and he ain't good for your insides, okay? Both defenses are mediocre as Sarah's stand-up career, and with an average over under 56.5, we are going to see a shootout, and my top gun is going to be Anderson, baby. You know he is going to run that ball into the end zone.
You know who be running his mouth is Marcus Peters, so I see him,
Again?
You know what? I'll just let that linger. What I was trying to say was...
That was the clock telling you that Marcus Peters, whatever's coming next was not going to work.
Yeah, no, Marcus Peters loves to have his mouth open, and that's the only thing that's going to be open on the Patriots offense.
Okay.
So I'm taking the Rams D.
Rams D. I say siege. What do you got?
Well, Sarah, you went with the plus 2,500 odds. You with the plus 900. That's some deep sleeper picks. But I thought your argument about C.J. Anderson was much more convincing because, Sarah, you went and referenced your fantasy team. And as a fantasy writer, I know that nobody gives a about your fantasy team. So this one's for you, Andrew.
Thank you, sir.
You get 5.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, that's no big deal. Won the league. Both of them. Prop number 3.
Whoa.
One of the big storylines every year is the guy that's never been to a Super Bowl, finally getting his shot at the big game. And this year, that guy is Tony Romo. The CBS announcer gets his first trip to the Super Bowl after a stellar season in the booth, seemingly predicting almost every play before it happens. The prop, over or under 7.5 plays predicted correctly by Tony Romo.
It's an under, Sarah. Both of these teams are just as unpredictable as Sarah's next cold sore outbreak, okay? Tony may have a soothsayer status, but he's never been to a Super Bowl, and he's going to lock up tighter than Gothard's tidy whities, who's not here. Rest in peace. The only thing that he's going to get over is the game itself because LA is going to dismantle the Pats. That's a fact. Even Terrell Owens himself has been throwing hella shade, as the kids say, and I'm always going to take the side of an evil villain because as my child heroes go, they were Darth Vader, Al Capone, and Mama Fratelli of the Goonies. I love the bad guys, and it's going to be under. Romo's going to choke.
It's going to be over for sure because not only is Romo going to get a contract extension with CBS, he's also getting a new show on TLC called Rostru Romadamus. Or Schlong Island Medium. I think that one's my favorite. I'm going to watch both regardless. I just think, like, the only thing with that Romo couldn't predict was the fact that he would be doing Skechers commercials. Other than that, he is fantastic. Thank God they don't show his shoes in the booth. Listen, last week he predicted 13 out of 15 plays correctly in the championship game, and the ones that he predicted incorrectly, one of them was a turnover and the other one was an incomplete pass. So I think he's for sure going to predict way more than 7.5 plays correctly. I think it's refreshing. I'm glad he's finally at a Super Bowl. I'm glad he's in the booth.
Yeah, he's going to choke. He's going to choke and get all tight because the TV time is going to be way too much for him to handle. We know how he gets when the TV time is too much. That is insane. And at this point, we shouldn't fix it. We should just leave it. I say we have to deal with that obnoxious shit for the rest of the show. What do you say, Harmon?
This was a tough one. You guys both made pretty unconvincing arguments, but I like the fact that Sarah came in with some actual stats. 13 out of 15, that's great. And honestly, Romo's like the best thing going about the NFL right now.
Right.
I'm going to give you 1 point.
One?
That's all that deserves.
Wow.
Prop number 4, Sarah. It's finally happened. My favorite band in the whole entire universe, Maroon 5, is playing the Super Bowl halftime show. While we know that Major Babe, Adam Levine, and the boys will be joined by a bunch of less awesome acts during the show, all we really care about is which Maroon banger they're going to kick things off with. The prop, what's the first song Maroon 5 plays at halftime?
Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh.
What is that? Are you dying?
That's the song One More Night.
Oh my God.
That's the song One More Night by Maroon 5. That's how many nights left I have on this show, apparently. Also, I picked One More Night because it had the lowest odds, which means it's probably the one that they're going to play. It has the lowest odds and the highest vocal range. Also, the lyrics to that song start out like, you and I go hard at each other like we're going to war, which is a really great song about the NFL, if you think about it, because the NFL is also an abusive relationship when a player plays for the NFL.
Listen to this list of song names we have to choose from. Sugar, This Love, and Girls Like You. That sounds like a Taylor Swift playlist, and it's the antithesis of what's going on in the NFL. Okay, the only song that's appropriate is not that garbage. It's Animals Like Animals, because that's what's going on the field. That's the only song that makes sense, because that's what football players are. They're wild animals. Regardless, they're a terrible choice, okay? Getting Maroon 5 to sing the Super Bowl is like having Cardi B make the commencement speech for MIT, okay? It makes no sense. They don't belong there. I'm more of a Violet 4 guy, less than a Maroon 5 guy, but I do think Animals is the only song that makes any kind of sense for football, manliness, grit, hardcore. Not this high-pitched
They always
garbage.
start with a medium energy song. They always start with a medium.
They don't have medium energy songs. They all have these like upbeat, happy-go-lucky, everything's good because we're billionaires.
No, they're all medium energy because Adam Levine spends all of his energy taking his shirt off every god day. Anyway, Matt, what do you think?
I actually studied this list pretty intently. This was the question I really dove into the most for the show.
That says a lot about you.
Yeah,
okay.
It really does. And I'm going to go with Andrew because I think that Animals was the song that I was going to go with as well.
Yeah, baby.
I trust
it makes
myself,
sense.
So 3 points for you.
Like animals, like animals. And do yours?
How does that song start? Does it start ooh, 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 ooh?
No, thank God.
Prop number 5. One of the more surprising storylines of the playoffs has been the emergence of C.J. Anderson in the Rams' backfield, outcarrying MVP candidate Todd Gurley in both their NFC Championship and NFC Divisional wins. Coach Sean McVay said nothing is wrong with Gurley, and then he just needs to get him the ball more. The prop, over or under 68.5 rushing yards for Todd Gurley.
Under. Listen, I love Gurley, but the toughest teams have held him down like a big brother trying to drown his little sibling, okay? Now that CJ has stepped his game up in the postseason, Gurley is going to have to learn to share, okay, like two little brothers. And against the Saints in the NFC Championship game, by the way, let me remind you, Gurley was quieter than a deaf library, okay? I think Gurley is going to take a knee, and I'm not referring to the Kaepernick knee. Even Shannon Sharp tweeted out during that NFC game that Gurley looks hurt. I think he still is hurt. I'm telling you, much like a Danish phone book, it's going to be all Andersons.
You are crazy.
A Norwegian joke.
Oh my God. Gurley is like Andrew's vibrator. Sometimes it just needs a week off, all right?
And more than one.
Gurley has I don't think he's hurt. I think honestly this play by McVay for like the last 2 games with Gurley rushing at like about 32% of the snaps is just his long play with Belichick. I think it's him trying to convince Belichick that they're going to start using C.J. Anderson or some of their other passing formations. I think it's all a big fun trick because McVay is young and he's spry and he's smart, all right? McVay already said that Gurley's going to be a big part of the Super Bowl because, and let's face it, he's had 2 weeks off. Sorry, no, 3, because he really hasn't been playing.
That's right.
I think he gets 68.5 rushing yards in the first half.
Oh.
And then I think in the second half, he gets 68.5 receiving yards.
I would take that.
Catching everything too. Kind of like, I'm glad that shut me off before what I was going to say.
Me too. Me too. Hashtag me too. What do you got to say?
Look, I was ready to give it to you, Andrew, but your argument was one horribly offensive on so many different levels.
Hey, how?
Although you're right, he's definitely hurt, but I'm with you, Sarah, that I think the week off, the couple weeks off, is going to be a huge deal for him. I think Gurley takes this one pretty easy. So you get, I don't know, like
47
points.
3? Okay.
Was it the Deaf Library joke? I mean, that's a great joke, by the way. Oh, that one had a lot of zingers. I got to tell you, prop number 6. We've gone through more than half of the show without anything related to touchdown Tommy Brady. How dare us, Sarah? 17 years after his first Super Bowl, the underdog victory over the Rams, Tom faces off against a young stud QB in his first Super Bowl, much like that game in 2002 where Tom faced Kurt Warner. The prop, who has more passing yards on Sunday, Brady or Goff?
Listen, I'm taking Brady on this. And honestly, I'm taking Brady because every time I bet against him, I'm like Andrew's mom when she was asked if she wanted to keep the baby. Wrong, okay? I'm wrong constantly about Brady, so I'm taking Brady. Listen, Goff's Super Bowl rating is 0 because he has no experience. And at this point, like, I really have to go with age and experience over blondes, honestly. Brady's played in 8 Super Bowls, so I think he's just going to be much more relaxed out there, and he's going to be firing the ball downfield like 5 yards at a time, because that's about as much as he can throw right now. I don't think either of these guys throws for more than 300 yards in the Super Bowl, because let's face it, Goff really only threw over 300 in 7 games this year, and that was barely over 300. I think Brady is the key to the Pats offense because they basically have 1 receiver, Edelman, they have 1 rusher, Sony Michel, and they have 1 Gronk. And that's all they got.
First of all, Goff threw for 4,600 yards in his 3rd season in the NFL. Go back to Tommy Brady's 3rd season in the NFL, and he was almost 1,000 yards less than that, okay? Those numbers are thicker than a cup of chili, baby. And I'm predicting Brady chokes harder than our producers trying to pitch us on another season. Look, Goff has been hotter than twin babies in a Mercedes-Benz with the windows up when the temp goes up to the mid-80s. All right, in his junior year in the league, he's acting like it because he's taking down all the seniors. That got old tendonitis Thomas Brady is going to face his biggest and toughest matchup yet against a young, hot, incredible Los Angeles Rams quarterback. Boom!
Perfectly timed.
Give it to me, Harmon. What do you think? What do you think?
I'm going with you and Goff on this one.
Yeah, babe.
Not because I think the Rams are going to win, but I think they're going to lose. Therefore, more negative game script, more passing yards for the Rams, and also, you took a shot on blonde guys, and like I'm sitting right here.
He's right there.
So, you're a dirty blonde guy, and he is,
it's just all the product.
You're a dirty
There's
blonde.
a lot of that.
That has nothing to do with your hair.
I was going to say.
5 points, Andrew.
5?
Thank you, sir.
5?
Thank you, sir. He is a fair judge.
God, jeez. All right, prop number 7. The betting isn't over when the game ends, Santino. One of the most fun moments to place a wager on is the post-game interview with the game's MVP, where they have to make the all-important choice on whose name will be first out of their mouth to give credit to for this crowning achievement. The prop, who does the Super Bowl MVP thank first in his post-game interview?
Well, I'm taking the Super Bowl MVP because I'm riding the lightning here on the Rams. Of course, we both are. It's going to be Goff, and since he's got no wife, no kids, he's going to be thanking the dating app Tinder. That's what I'm saying. He's going to be thanking Tinder for being a GPS for ASS. Now that he's going to be the most famous athlete in the NFL after this win, this dude's going to tour the country and get whatever he wants, whenever he wants. This blonde-haired, blue-eyed Hitler dream should invest in Trojan because he is going to be slanging balls on and off the field. He should be thanking the city of Atlanta as well for building a dome football stadium to protect him, and also for Magic City, Atlanta's premier strip club that I support wholeheartedly.
Okay, listen, I'm going to say teammates because I chose from the list that we were given.
What, other was on there? Other, I chose other.
Listen, I know a lot of people think that if it's a Rams player, he should thank the refs in New Orleans for his opportunity to even be at the Super Bowl. But I think that they have to thank their teammates first because neither of these teams have a breakout star. That is the sole reason for them being there. Both of these teams need every single last one of their players to even make this team work. From a kicker that can make 57-yard field goals in overtime to a 57-year-old man who can still pass accurately 5 yards at a time, it's imperative that whoever wins needs to thank their teammates first. I think, LA people, the Rams can't really thank the fans because let's face it, I have Rams season tickets and every game is like an away game. I don't even know if Rams fans are going to be watching the game if it's raining in LA. You know how much we hate LA, I just think, and I think the MVP is going to be Aaron Donald, so I think he has to thank his teammates for not slicing his tires for holding out every offseason.
Ooh. Doesn't that sound like a bell from school?
It does sound like
piercing class bell. It's terrible. We need it fixed, and it's just as bad.
Right.
That sound.
So let's ask
Sarah's
Jack Morris
argument.
what he thinks.
Go ahead, Harmon. What do you say?
I'm going with Sarah on this one. I think that you made a couple stinging arguments about LA fans, but accurate ones. I'm going to give you 4 points on this one. And
4?
Yeah.
As someone who went to almost every game this year, home game, the stadium was packed.
It was a tough argument.
I went to almost every home game.
And
it was packed, and it wasn't just Rams fans, though. It's a lot.
Everybody's from everywhere here.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm just saying that.
But look at us. We both aren't Rams fans.
But it's hard for them to thank the fan base when they, you know.
Now, look, guys, I know that Gothard normally brings in one of his little friends to do the 8th prop, but I got somebody, I'm not going to call him a friend, but an associate. I ran into him ordering some fast food last week. He was getting himself a Diet Coke. We split one afterwards, and I decided to invite him onto the show to read you guys the 8th prop. So
cool.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Well, I just want to thank Andrew for being here. Where's Sarah? Sarah's so great. I think, Sarah, you've represented me so well and been abused. She's been horribly treated.
I loved it. Hey, here's my question. How many times
During the Super Bowl, will I tweets over or under
6.5 times?
Wow.
Wow.
That was the coolest thing I've ever
That's
seen.
pretty cool. For people that couldn't make out what he was saying, because he is quite incoherent many times, it is, will Trump tweet over or under 6.5 times during the Super Bowl? Sarah, go.
Well, I'm going to say under. I think he definitely tweets about it. You know, we all know that Trump, likes to type about as much as every secretary he's ever banged. So he types a lot. I think he's going to probably tweet something about Belichick or Kraft, since those are his buddies and his right-hand man, and they're still the only 2 professional athletes that will still go to the White House at this point in our lives. And I know he's not going to be at church, so he's probably going to have some time, but he's going to go to the golf course right after, so he's not going to be able to tweet a whole lot during the Super Bowl, and he's gonna probably say some bullshit about the national anthem, so he's probably just gonna be watching until then, and then he's gonna quit watching the game and convince everybody else not to, so I think the under is a safe bet.
I think the over is quite clearly the only bet to choose when it comes to Donald Trump and Twitter. This dude tweets 11.5 on average tweets per day. And it's always poignant information, by the way, like looking into 3D plastic guns being sold to the public. I'll keep you posted. I mean, a poet? Come on. You know he's going to be watching the entire game, Sarah. He loves to hate. He's going to be scarfing down anywhere from 4 to 34 Big Macs and a gallon or so of Diet Coke. By the way, if we could build a wall out of Trump's 40+ thousand tweets, we could actually surround the entire country with his words of wisdom. So you know he's going to be tweeting until the end of the game.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
His wisdom.
Dum-da-dum-dum-dum.
What do you say, Harmon? What do you think?
Oh, it's over. Of course it's over.
way
You're getting
over.
10 points.
Yes.
I don't know. Just keep racking it up.
Yeah, baby!
The over's the safest bet of the game. It's a Brady Belichick game, so he's got his buds. You're
friends,
right.
he's
He's
gotta
gonna say
watch.
some about the national anthem, so
That's right.
it all adds up to
Whatever.
Thank you,
I
Mom.
like Gatorade, just so thanks for doing me that favor.
Okay.
Oh, and hey, Andrew, he actually has a message for you to read off.
I tell you what, this was a great victory for Andrew. And again, from a deal-making standpoint, we are all much better off the way it turned out.
That's great. Thank you so much, Don. Don, my boy, my bud Don.
Look at that. See, that's karma. Your mic falling off.
my mic
right
fell?
at the right time. Right at the right time.
Do you think that's Trump's ghost
Yeah, probably.
doing that? Well, Harmon, I appreciate the recognition and the W. Thank you
And
so
thank
much.
you for being here.
Can I tell you something?
My pleasure.
I would love for you to replace Gothard for the last couple of episodes.
Me too.
Is there any way that production could get him to stay in Atlanta?
I'm sure he's going to end up having to stay there because he's going to get arrested for trying to sneak into a strip club at underage.
You guys
Actually,
know
you know
I
what?
actually have a real job to do, though, right? Like I've got other stuff.
Yeah, no, this
No,
is
no,
a
but
real
this
job.
is a side
This is
gig.
a real job.
Do I get paid extra for this? Can you ask?
We don't even get paid
Yeah,
to do this.
they gave us this today, and this is like our bonus.
We'll share.
Hey.
Yeah, you can
Cheers.
ask them.
Cheers to you. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink, clink.
Happy Super Bowl, everybody.
Happy Super Bowl, everybody. Delicious. Remember, kids, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at 2Debate2Furious. Follow both of us at Cheeto Santino and at Sarah Tiana, and subscribe to Yahoo Sports on YouTube to get new episodes every single Wednesday. Also, this Sunday, you can stream the actual Super Bowl. Yes, the whole game on your Yahoo Sports app for free. And check out the pregame show before at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time with a special appearance by these two smiling faces.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching Props on the Yahoo YouTube page.
Yeah, please subscribe because we need more viewers, and that's how we stay alive and eat and feed our families.
New shows come out every Wednesday. And don't forget to hit the like button right below our beautiful faces right here. That'll help us out too.
Yeah.
Props to you if you do it right.